Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. It's about getting faster, better, and stronger with marketing and email marketing and marketing automation. And ultimately, what we want to do is to show you what other companies are doing with marketing automation and how this can help you drive leads, sales, and ultimately grow your business. My name is John Bush. I'm going to be your MC today. And with me, I have Rick Merton from Permission. He is our Sydney-based value-added reseller, and he's going to be speaking for the first half of this webinar about functionality within marketing automation and what is going to help your marketing and sales teams drive this software and why companies generally choose marketing automation. And then after that, we've brought in Paul Tagari from Hygiena. Paul is an Act-On client, and he wanted to share a little bit about why his company chose marketing automation. He wanted to talk about the journey, why they needed it, and why they chose Act-On and how it's working for them. So everybody on this call today is going to be muted, but please submit your questions to the field marked questions, and we will answer them as they come, or perhaps at the end of the broadcast if we don't get to them by that time. We will have time at the end for Q&A. We've got a full schedule for this morning, so without further delay, Rick, I'd like to hand it over to you.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, John. Appreciate the introduction. And good morning, everybody. As John just said, today is all about how to drive faster, better, and smarter marketing, which fundamentally drives down into how marketing automation can help you convert more leads with fewer resources. And really, that's about making sure that every opportunity, every sales inbound marketing lead opportunity you've got is maximized to its fullest potential. It's also about how to organize and manage your prospects so that nothing gets lost in Excel spreadsheets or in Outlook email clients that your sales teams could be using. The other part of it is how marketing automation facilitates marketers' ability to tailor marketing messages across multi-channels based on the interests of your prospects and where they are in the buyer's funnel, which ultimately allows sales to be far more effective and to ensure they're focusing on the hottest leads. And doing all of this also facilitates the ability to eliminate repetitive manual tasks. So when you combine all of that, ultimately a marketing automation platform will facilitate converting more leads with fewer resources. So that's what we'll go through later today. But often where we start is when we start talking to our clients and prospects about marketing automation, the standard question they get is, well, is it really something I need? So we've drilled that down into trying to help them answer that question into 5 very simple questions that are: 1, can you easily identify, track, and engage your individual buyers? So if you can't identify them and easily, then there could be an opportunity for you to use marketing automation to facilitate a better management of prospects and buyers. The second question that we look at is, how easy is it for you to generate a list of prospects, but not just a basic list, a list that you can then prioritize by their fit as an ideal company based on your profile of prospects you are after and their likelihood or intent to purchase. The third question is, are you able to filter leads based on their level of engagement and interest? So can you look at those leads based on where they are in your sales funnel? So again, you can work with sales to ensure that they're focusing on the right leads. The fourth question is, can you really measure the revenue contribution of each of your campaigns and the sales they generated? And then finally, how easy is it for you to do any of these things? So you might be able to do them, but if each time it's about you're tearing your hair out, then it's a real problem that you can't easily, seamlessly drive to any of these sort of results. These are the 5 questions that we work through with all of our clients when they're starting to plan through marketing automation. And what we wanted to do quickly this morning is just run a quick poll to understand where you sit within those 5 criteria to look at what's of interest to you. So the poll's up there already. So if you could take a moment and just fill in the questions, we'd really appreciate it.
And I think we'll leave this up for about another 20 seconds or so. So if you could just fill this out, and then we'll close that poll. We'll close that poll, and
you're going to show the results, John?
yes, I will. There you go.
Excellent.
Looks like we've got a few answers here.
So it's interesting there that you can see that lots of people, measurement is a key criterion. That's one of the research that we get. Oops, sorry. Can you I'll bring that back up? Sorry. Oh, sorry, we'll come back to that. Oh, there you go. Thanks, John. So measurement is a key criteria for people to be able to understand exactly what's going on within their marketing. And the other area that you see is a key challenge that people are having is being able to filter their prospects based on their level of engagement and where they are in the buying process. We'll come back to this data later on in the webinar. So just to make sure everybody's clear what I mean by marketing automation. So marketing automation fundamentally is a marketing platform that allows marketers to streamline, automate, and measure marketing tasks and workflows. So it's a all-encompassing platform that covers all of the channels and allows you to build and manage all of your marketing. As I've said already, the reason to do that is so that you can convert more sales, hopefully faster, with fewer resources. The process it uses to do that, or the marketing principles, is around nurturing your leads through a conversion, and then by delivering persuasive content at the most important moments. So it really tries to drive to that, delivering the right message to the right person at the right time to close that sale. It's not a new technology, so there's been lots of research in the market about it, but what we're seeing is more and more businesses it's moving from the enterprise level down into small and medium-sized businesses, so it's much more accessible today. But there's lots of data out there that looks at why marketing automation is a proven benefit. I'm not going to step through all that research, but really the top level results that it generates for most companies are, as I've said, an increase not just in the conversion, but also a speed of conversion. So if you've got a long, slow sales cycle, it can often help speed that process up. And the research shows that it increases the average deal size. So it's getting better conversion at a faster rate and increased deals, which is a great result to drive to bottom line for most businesses. The other key benefit it brings is much more accountability and communication between sales and marketing. So it really tries to break down the silos between sales and marketing throwing leads over the fence to sales, and sales ignoring them because I don't think they're ready. Given it's an automation platform and it's a single platform, it saves time, which allows marketers to get much more done. It does cross multi-channel, so often there's an ability to reduce the number of platforms that marketers are using within the business. And then ultimately, as I said earlier, it allows you to focus the resources to get more done with fewer staff. And we'll talk through in a moment when Paul goes through his case study around how he manages globally marketing across his team as well. In terms of what's included in a marketing automation platform, and I'm not going to go through this in a huge amount of detail, but the core of it, as I've already spoken to, is really the customer data. So understanding who your prospects are and where they are in that funnel is what puts in the center of it. And then it provides the marketing team all the campaign management tools that it needs to manage multi-channel campaigns, including, obviously, and at the core of it is email, but across all the social channels, your website content, webinars, and then often they'll have ability to run direct mail campaigns to direct print houses, etc. as well. And then overlaying all the campaign management platform is a better data reporting platform, so you can understand exactly what's happening with the marketing campaigns you're doing, and an ability for deeper analytics that allows you to work with sales to understand which of the prospects are ready to convert and when. So it's the campaign management, reporting, analytics that really separates a marketing automation platform compared to a standard email marketing platform. When we start working with our clients that are looking to evolve from a conventional email platform into marketing automation platform, we position it very much as a journey. And it's about trying to understand where you are today so you can move through levels of sophistication. But like any journey, the most important challenge is actually to start on it. So what we do when we're working with our clients, the first step is to help understand where they are in the journey. And we map that out based on these 4 criteria. The first one is, and I expect where lots of people are today, is really they're in a point in time single campaign measurement. And this is really about batch and blast, often using an email service provider like MailChimp or Campaign Monitor, and you're sending out a bulk message to everybody. There's very little personalization. The step up from that is to build in some level of personalization and some automation campaigns. And again, these aren't deep nurturing campaigns. They could be quite simple drip campaigns or trigger campaigns based on a basic interaction the prospect has with some of your content. But we are moving to more of a style of nurture with a bit of more deeper personalization. But the most important thing that starts to separate it from an email platform is the engagement scoring. So you can start to really understand what your prospects are doing when they're doing it, and then build insight and campaigns based on that behavior. The next level is start to drive that engagement up at scale. So we're starting to bring in multi-channel campaigns. So this is where we'd start to looking at how social integrates in it, your AdWords, etc., and driving in more advanced nurturing. So start to build in segmentation modeling. So you could look at different prospects within different industries or different buying groups, etc., and really nurture people based on a far more personalized understanding of where they are in the buying cycle. And then the fourth layer is building relationships across the whole life cycle of a customer. So it's not just about nurturing them to close, but it's then onboarding them and then the full life cycle and upsell, cross-sell. And this really starts to drive into multi-channel content and omni-channel marketing. So these are the four levels that we try to work our clients through. We work out where they are within that life cycle. Most common is they're at level 1 and they're really just using email. And then we start to look at how we drive them up to level 2 and then ultimately level 3. And we build a project plan, often over a couple of years, to get to this sort of level. Once again, what we thought we'd do this morning is actually just get an understanding of where everybody is in the marketplace. So John, if you could put up the next poll, I'd appreciate it. So again, on this one, if you could just tell us, do you think you're at that single channel where you're just managing a single email campaign, you're starting into some personalization and some automation, or you're really trying to drive that strategic scale up, or you're at that final stage where you're running lifecycle marketing? Again, we'll leave this one up for about 20, 30 seconds. If you could just take a moment to tell us where you think you are up to.
Right, and I think we've got a pretty good cross section, so I'm going to close the poll and I'll share the results here.
Oh, that's great. It's really exciting to see that there's a number of people at level 2, which is really good that they've already moved into some automation. They're probably starting to see some of the value that they're getting out of that. But as you can see, there's still 30% of the people attending today that are at that single point communication. So there is great opportunity to drive people further up the life cycle and start to get more value out of a marketing automation platform. Thanks for that, John. So I've talked a lot about a marketing automation platform and just previously about the difference between an email platform. But I thought, given that, as we've just seen, that a large percentage of the audience are still using email platforms, I thought I'd spend a couple of minutes just to be a little bit more specific about what the differences are. So when I talk about an ESP or an email service provider, I'm typically talking about a MailChimp or Campaign Monitor style service where you're using what is typically a batch and blast send of email, versus a marketing automation platform on the right-hand side, which is really allowing for that lead nurturing and allowing that personalization, as already talked about. So it's driving away from a single email that is sent to everybody that may have first name to a much more personalized and more timely based communication process. The other key point that it drives differentiation, and this goes back to the learning in the first poll, is around data and analytics. An email service provider will give you single point metrics. So it'll tell you how many people have clicked or opened on your website. It may have some capability to tell you if somebody's visited a specific page on your website, but it's not going to drive into deep analytics that allows you to actually track and measure the behavior of your prospects and customers in the same way a marketing automation platform can do. And it's that analytics and measurement criteria that allows you to answer what the biggest challenge that people are facing, again in the poll, around really understanding what of your marketing is driving what revenue and that attribution, aligning attribution to your campaigns. The other difference is around how they manage leads. So typically an email service platform or provider will provide you a list of leads, absolutely, and you can market to that list. But that list is really going to have very basic personalization. Will have name, company, that sort of thing, versus a marketing automation platform that has the same level of personal data, but it then adds in 2 core pieces or 3 core pieces of data on top of that. One is the behavior. So it tracks all their behavior across your website, so you understand exactly what pages they're looking at, when they're looking at, how many times they've visited the website. And that's a historical reporting as well, not just straight after a campaign, and then allows you to build a profile and score that behavior. So it moves it away from just a lead list to be able to prioritize leads for each of those prospects in your funnel and where they are in the funnel. I mentioned this earlier. The other key thing is if you're running batch and blast style email marketing, the likelihood is at the end of a campaign, you're giving your sales guys a list of people that have hopefully or at least opened or clicked on an email, but not specifically been nurtured or prioritized based on their likely intent to buy. Where a marketing automation platform really enables a cooperation and a close working relationship between sales and marketing. So where they're agreeing on what is a lead, when is a lead nurtured to the point that they're ready for sales, and then handing them across to sales. And ultimately, if you've got a CRM integrated, that happens seamlessly and fed across into your CRM system. So that when sales pick up a call, not only do they know that the person's had the right information, they should be ready to purchase, but they've got the historical data that they can look at to get understanding of what they've done. And then ultimately, where it really starts to bring the power and alignment back is if the lead's not ready to purchase, marketing and sales can individually look at each of those leads to improve and optimize for future campaigns. The other area which I talked,
sorry, a question came in about the CRM. Somebody's asking if you need to have a CRM with Act On or marketing automation.
So the ultimate answer to that question is no, and we've got a number of clients that don't have a CRM system, but the power that it does provide when you have a CRM system aligned is the passing of data over to sales. So although we can give salespeople logins to Act On in this case, and they can get some data out of that, it doesn't provide them the same level of sales lead management that a CRM system would do. So marketing automation platforms are fundamentally designed for the marketing team to use. And when there's a CRM that's hooked onto it, then sales would use a CRM system. But in small businesses with small teams and small lead lists, we often find that the marketing automation platform is enough for the sales teams to work closely with marketing and get the value out of it. And then we can build a business case to roll into a CRM system at a later date. It's part of that progression through the last cycle.
Great, thank you. And also for those who haven't asked questions, there is a questions field in GoToWebinar, so put them in and we'll answer them as they come.
Excellent, thank you. So as I started to say, the other core difference between a marketing automation platform and an email service provider is around what is personalization versus customization. So an email platform will allow you to personalize an email, Dear Rick or Dear John, for example, but it won't give you deep customization and won't allow you to trigger messages based on the behavior with dynamic content in there. So it is the next level up in terms of building more personal, timely communications. I thought just from a philosophical or a strategic perspective, I'll just give people a quick understanding of how this all sort of ties together. So in case you've never really looked at it, you've got an understanding. It starts with the typical demand gen or lead generation campaigns that you're probably running now. They would be Google, advertising, LinkedIn, PR, that sort of thing. Again, if you've got a marketing automation platform, some of these can be managed from that platform, or the data is inputted into there, so you can start to get an understanding of what's generating what returns from that. That demand gen, lead gen activity is going to drive your prospects to one of 3 channels, either back into your social or your website, where they could then register to download other information, or straight into an inbound call so that your sales team can pick them up. If they do get into that inbound call, hopefully the sales will drive them to a close and you'll get them to purchase. But often what is more likely the case, that they're not quite ready to buy, And like your leads that register on your website or in your social channels, you want to nurture them with content that is relevant to their industry and where they are and what they're trying to achieve and how they would use your services so that they become sales ready. And then sales can pick them up and close them. And what we build into it using artificial intelligence and marketing automation is a scoring model that allows us to flag sales ready opportunities into the inbox or through the CRM system for your sales team so they can drive that process all the way through to close. So that's the type of model that we would look at working with our clients to help them identify what is that process and then where does marketing automation bring into that. The other core question or typical question we get around what is the process to do that is how do we drive this forward and what are the steps we would need to go to? And we work through a 7-step process. The first one is develop a comprehensive plan, not dissimilar to the model that I just showed you, so we know what we're trying to achieve. The next one is mapping all the marketing and sales processes. So make sure they're all documented so I know what's going on. And then we can work out exactly what are the manual ones within that process that we can identify, that we can then automate through the marketing automation platform. Once you're doing that, you can already start aligning sales and marketing to talk through what is the definition of a lead, when is somebody hot, what do we need to do to nurture people, what are the content requirements they need to understand the service or solution that you're trying to sell to them. And that allows you to then start to agree on the metrics that you want to track. So when you hand over a lead to sales, they know what they've received and where they are, and we're talking a common language. The next step, and this is not a simple step, is to make sure you've got all your data. Often we find there's data in Excel spreadsheets, or there's data in people's Outlook inbox, etc. So we pull all of those together and qualify them down and clean them up so that you're starting with a clean list, because that old mantra of poor data in means poor results coming out the other end is really critical at this stage. And then we'll look at what's the best, most appropriate marketing automation tool in the market for them. This is a great spot for me to pause to hand over to Paul from Hygenia, who can talk through not dissimilar process he went through, but how he and his team are using Acton to drive their marketing automation. Paul, over to you.
Thank you so much, Rick, and what a wonderful start to the presentation. Again, my name is Paul Tigari. I'm a marketing specialist at Hygenia, and what we do at Hygenia is deliver rapid microbial detection and monitoring solutions to a wide range of industries, including food and beverage, all the way to healthcare, pharma, and personal care across the globe. We're headquartered in Camarillo, California, but we have offices all over the world, and especially our marketing team, like Rick mentioned earlier, we don't have a large team. We have about 7 or 8 marketers for the entire globes. And so marketing automation has really helped us get more done with less resources. What I wanted to talk today about is the driving factors that we wanted to explore, that drove us to explore marketing automation, some of the KPIs that we went through when evaluating platforms, and how we currently use marketing automation and the benefits we see. So the driving factors that really drove us, the pain points we were experiencing at Hygenia with, just pop back, Rick.
Sorry.
The kind of the pain points and the driving factors for us to explore marketing automation, where we were using multiple platforms with different metrics and data for our marketing. So MailChimp for email marketing, Hootsuite for social media, Google Ads, Google Analytics, and that caused a lot of different reports in different areas and a lot of different data that we needed to sift through to see what our campaigns were doing, if we were performing to the right levels. We also didn't have a defined structure for qualifying leads. It was more of a response came in and we'd send it over to the fence to the sales team, and they didn't have any information about was that lead qualified. And because of that, we didn't have the ability to track their journey. We also didn't have a connectivity with our CRM, so sales really had a very limited view into what was actually happening with marketing, and we weren't able to automate customer communications. And those were really why we wanted to go after marketing automation. And then when we decided we wanted to take that next step and pursue a marketing automation platform, these are the KPIs that we use to evaluate platforms. The UI and the ease of use of the platform. Was it easy for somebody with a little experience to use, all the way up to very highly experienced marketers, to sales members, to other departments in our company? The connectivity didn't have the integrations with our social media channels, with our CRM interface, with Google Analytics and our website for all the tracking and metrics data we needed. How did it generate reports? Were these reports, be able to be used with other programs, and what was the interface, and what data could we generate? Functionality and features, the editors, the planners, the calendars, and the lead capture abilities. What information could we capture from our prospects using a marketing automation platform? Next slide, please. And so once we've evaluated platforms, we ultimately chose to go with Act On because it really fit and checked all the boxes with what we were looking for. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about how we implemented marketing automation into our department, into our company. And the first thing we did is the key stakeholders, myself and my team included, went through Act On University. And it's a great tool that has all the information you need to get started and get a really good grasp of how it works and how to execute some of these high level tasks like marketing automation and full customization and triggered campaigns. We then worked on establishing all of our connections with our CRM, social media, Google Ads, and website. And I would like to note that we use a custom build of Microsoft Dynamics 365, and that Act On is able to link to customized CRM, so it doesn't necessarily have to be out of the box. We then wrote internal SOPs for using Act On, so that way team members across the globe in different markets with different products responsible for and different sales cycles all had the right pieces of the puzzle and the right steps so that we could all work with an alignment. We then worked out how we're going to set up our reporting, so we have standardized reporting across all offices and all team members. We then imported and built marketing lists and funnels from CRM and from Excel documents and external sites. And then we started optimizing and building content. And the benefits and really the best part about Act On and how we use it is for the inbound prospecting. So whether that's the website prospector tool, where we can see what pages people are visiting, what they're clicking on, and then using the multi-channel marketing campaign function to really send out really whole targeted campaigns. We also use marketing automation for automated product purchase follow-ups. This is an absolute value add for us, because when a customer purchases a product, we can then suggest other products that are similar to that based upon their actions and tracking their lead journey. Lead nurture and drip campaigns are also a must for us because our sales cycle is a little bit longer and more technical, and this helps us shorten that time from fresh inbound all the way to sales qualified. And the form tool has been a big help for us as well, because they're very comprehensive and allows us to capture exactly the information we need to provide to our sales team or our R&D teams to make sure that they can execute their functions properly, and the reporting and the performance reporting. Overall, Act On marketing automation has really changed the way we market as a global company, and has really benefited us in being able to do so much more with a small team on a global scale, and really organize and target our marketing efforts in a way that we are now producing more sales qualified leads and highly sales qualified leads than ever before, and the sales conversion rates are now have increased accordingly. So again, I wanted to say thank you to Rick and John from Act On for having me. It has been a wonderful experience, and I hope this was helpful. And if there's any questions, please feel free to ask at the end.
Thanks for that, Paul. So just as a quick summary, and I think Paul basically summarized this slide beautifully, a marketing automation platform, as I've said a few times now, allows marketing teams and sales teams to work closely together to convert more leads with fewer resources, by putting rigor around your processes for managing your leads so that you never lose a prospect, can provide better targeted messages based on the interest and buying cycles of your buyers, allows sales and marketing teams to much closer align so that we're really understanding exactly who is a hot prospect and when sales should be calling these leads or closing the deals, and ultimately allows you to really automate lots of your processes and eliminate many manual tasks. As I said earlier, our model or our goal is to help our clients drive down this life cycle of their journey within marketing and build a rigor around each of those stages so that you're getting value at each point, and there's a very rapid return on investment from the implementation of a marketing automation platform. But if I can leave you with one thing, and as I said earlier, sorry, was that a question? No? But if I can leave you with
go ahead.
One thing, as I said earlier, a journey starts with a single step, and this will only happen if you push yourselves out of your comfort zone, and the magic happens when you get out of that comfort zone and start moving forward. So it's now just on half hour, so we'll probably have a minute or two for any questions, John. Otherwise, we'll say thank you, and we'll follow up with any questions that we receive and don't have a chance to answer today. Yeah,
we had a couple questions come in at the end. We will respond to you individually. One of the questions was around pricing, and we can respond individually, and the other one was around the type of marketplace that works for early stage industries. So we'll also respond to that one individually. Thanks everybody for joining, and we look forward to continuing the conversation where it makes sense, and appreciate your attendance today and your interest in Act-On and marketing automation in general. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks a lot, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.